Well, I want to say thank you for taking time to watch these reports, my report, and the rest of our staff, as we just have the opportunity and the pleasure to celebrate and report on all that God has done in 2025. 2025 has been a record-breaking year across the board in the life of our church, as you will hear not just in my report, but from Pastor Victor, Pastor Candace, and Pastor Abigail. And, our heart, our vision, and our mission is to be a home for everyone to grow in faith, community, and the purposes of God. That as the Lord has given us this community in Stouffville to serve, that we believe every single person deserves a place to explore the relationship with God that they were made for, that they deserve a place to grow in friendships and meaningful relationships in faith, and that they should have a place that they can discover the purpose that God has made them for. And so the Lord has been so good to us in 2025. He's entrusted us with much. Some of the new ways that we've aimed to do that, we really wanted to try some new things in 2025. And so that looks like new formats, new events, and new approaches to the way that we've done ministry. We're excited in some of our events that we were able to start things like the Super Bowl of Chili fundraiser, or Staycation Sunday, or changing the format of our Father's Day and Mother's Day to include some people from our church to share their journey and wisdom of faith and how they've been great moms and dads. Or we also had our church family barbecue. One of our best attended Sundays of the year, of course, revolves around free hot dogs. Come on, this church is my kind of people. We were also able to start our kids' day camp, full day camp this summer. And our community and our church responded in such an amazing way. And we are looking at the numbers for this coming summer, and we've already exceeded last year. The Lord has just done some amazing things in our kids' ministry and with our day camp. And last but certainly not least, we were able to start our Home Team Awards. It's one thing to celebrate all that God has done, but it's important to celebrate the team and the people He's brought alongside that vision to help accomplish it. And, all these things are just touch points and things we want to try as we continue to serve our church in building a home for everyone to grow in faith, community, and the purposes of God. In our missions area and our missions portfolio, there's been some significant changes that have happened in 2025. We're excited to report that come year end, we were able to raise $83,000 for missions internationally, just an astronomical figure. And we always joked with the staff, I have to stop giving people updates because every time I give an update, I end up being wrong. God has just supplied more, and your generosity has empowered us to give more. That comes on the tails of a review and a renewal of our philosophy for missions here at our church. In 2025, we broadened our missions partners from 6 to 10, and we were able to multiply our support to those partners threefold. We really wanted to take a step of faith forward in our missions giving and trust that the Lord would bring those dollars as needed. And of course, as you've seen, He absolutely has. Would we continue to invest wholeheartedly in the work of the gospel around the world? I do want to make mention to our staffing updates in 2025. We brought on Pastor Abigail in a volunteer capacity at the end of 2024, but in 2025, she actually joined us on our pastoral staff as our pastor of Next Steps. This role is focused on serving people and bringing clarity to what is the next step of faithfulness in someone's walk with the Lord. And we've seen that process not just become clearer, but more effective in moving people forward in their faith. And so I want to say thank you to Pastor Abigail and the incredible work that she's doing there. I do want to make mention of just a few things in our church life. As I mentioned before, this has been a record-breaking year in areas like our church attendance is larger than it's ever been, especially around Christmas and Easter. We are at capacity in our kids ministry, in our sanctuary, and in our parking lot. And for the first time ever, we've really had to begin to consider, do we need to be doing multiple services in these areas? And so again, in 26, you're going to see us take some new risks, some right risks in the right direction, but just new ways we can continue to serve more people as the Lord has entrusted us with more. Again, this is not just in giving, missions-wise, but in giving as a whole. This has been a record-breaking year. You'll hear from Marianne Apadurai. She is our treasurer, and she'll be providing a financial report in our AGM this year. But all that to say, the Lord has given us much, and He's entrusted us with much. And so we really feel the weight and the responsibility to be effective in all the Lord's given us. When we sow $1 and an investment into the kingdom, it means that people's lives change. And so we want to make sure that we are the change agents that the Lord has entrusted us to be here in our community. And so we just want to say thank you for your faithful giving. The last thing I'll mention is in 2025, we started a brand new format for our groups in our adult discipleship. We really wanted to care and focus on providing ministry to the whole family as well as people who fit outside of that season of life. And so at the end of 2025, we launched Midweek, which is adult discipleship partnered with our kids discipleship and our junior high midweek programs. And this has made it easier for families to get plugged in and be served as a whole. We understand that people's lives are full, and yet when we take time and make time for our own spiritual care and walk with the Lord, it's amazing how he shows up in such incredible ways. Previously, we'd have about 20, 25 people as a part of our groups and our small groups. We've been able to multiply that number by 3, just in changing our format and our approach. And so when we're talking about taking the right risks, these are the kinds of risks that we're talking about. Change for the sake of continuing to serve more and more people in our community. As in all things, we are better when we are working together. And as the Lord has given us an incredible vision for the future, he's also brought alongside an incredible team. I want to say thank you to all the people who serve so faithfully in our church. But just to draw out a few, I want to say thank you to our church board. Marianne Apaduri serves as our treasurer. Robin McCrossan serves as our church board secretary. Blaine Hockley serves on our board, Everton Thomas and Dion Weir. Our board members bring a servant's heart and a faith-filled perspective for the future. And it is a blessing every time that we get together that we not only get to steward what God's given us, but that we have a capacity to dream for where he's going to take us. And so I want to say thank you to our church board and how they serve me, how they serve this church, and how they care for our future. Along with our church board is our pastoral staff. I want to say a special thank you to Pastor Candice Bell, Abby Garcia, and Victor Garcia as they continue to serve and go above and beyond their roles and their responsibilities. And they're so willing to be flexible and generous with themselves as we continue to serve and try new things to serve this community to the best of our ability. Last but not least, I want to say thank you to all of our volunteers, the people who give week in and week out towards just creating this home for everyone. In 2026, we are going to continue to serve our church in all the ways that we've already begun and the new things that we've started. But we want to begin to refine and bring clarity to some of our systems and our structures. Our church has almost doubled in size in the last 2 years. And one of the rules of thumb is when an organization doubles, it needs to reconsider what its strategy and structures are to be able to not just sustain, but to serve well the organization that they now have. That's the position that we find ourselves in as a church. And so over the last year, a lot of the new touch points and events and things you can come to were intentional in that we were trying to build a bit of a process and design a strategy for people to grow relationally, as so many people in our church are brand new to our community. In 2026, we want to turn our attention to our other 2 missional focuses and helping people grow in their faith and grow in their purpose and what the Lord has made them for. Growing in their faith, this looks like a brand new discipleship platform that we're developing from the ground up for our local church. It focuses on the 12 areas that we'd say are not prescriptive, but they're descriptive in the life of a disciple. These are the 12 things that each of us are always working on until we come to see Jesus one day. We're going to be launching that online platform this year. That's not just great teaching and discipleship content, but it partners you with a discipleship coach to help serve, encourage, and pray for you as we try to walk out the plan that we have to serve the Lord in better ways. Secondly, this year, we want to turn our attention to help serving people in discovering what the purpose that God might have for them, whether it's in their spiritual gifts testing or the personality that God's given them. When we help bring clarity to these things, it can help us better discern what has the Lord asked me to do and what does he have for me. I really believe that as we help bring clarity to people's lives for what is the giftings and purpose that God has placed in them, we will always have more than what we need when it comes to volunteers, leaders, and manpower to serve our community, because each of us are activated for the kingdom of God. And so this coming year, our plan is processes. We want to continue to have fun. We want to continue to have all the great events and all the costumes we love to put Pastor Victor in. But more than that, we don't want to just hope for growth. We want to develop plans and processes for it. That as much has been given, much is expected. And so if you're wanting to partner with us this year in prayer, just continue to pray that the Lord would give us wisdom and insight for creativity in how we can continue to develop processes and a plan to serve our church in even greater ways. As we close today, again, I want to say thank you. It has been an absolutely incredible year. We have so much to be thankful for. And when we are at our best, when we are serving at our best, when we are giving at our best, can I tell you, people's lives are changed because of it. We are more than just a Christian club or church in Stouffville. We get to be the hands and feet of Jesus, that people come into relation with God for the first time, that we get to serve and care for our community, and that real meaningful friendships are developed that, can I just tell you, are going to last for eternity. And so we want to say thank you and invite you to continue to lean in. Maybe you're new to our church in the last 6 months, and maybe you came at the tail end of 25 into 26. Can I tell you, there is a future here for you. It is an honor to serve and be a part of this church and its future. I want to say thank you for all you've done and all the Lord has for us. And I humbly submit my report.